janky body is done dealing. My spirit's going into heaven. God hooked me up with a new body made specifically for heaven-type atmospheric conditions. All eternity. If you have to lift weights, and I don't know if you do or not. Run, do your cardio. It's going to be an interesting question. Is there football in heaven, Dad, you think? Well, we'll see. I think we're going to be worshiping too much to really care about that all stuff. But I guess you can worship in football too. I don't know. 2 Corinthians 5, look at verse 1. Check this out. For we know that if our earthly house, this tent, okay, you look around, look at your neighbor, say, all right, your tent is looking a little raggedy, it's looking tough, but anyway, you got a tent, it's this body. When your tent is destroyed, in other words, when you die physically, we have a building from God, a new body, a house not made with hands, eternal in the heavens. Okay, verse 2, for in this we groan, some of us groan more than others, we groan earnestly, desiring to be clothed with our habitation, which is from heaven. If indeed, having been clothed, we shall not be found naked. In other words, we're in this tent right now. When we go into heaven, we're going to be embodied with a new body. Our spirit's going to be embodied with a new body. Verse 4, for we who are in this tent groan, being burdened, not because we want to be unclothed, but further clothed, that mortality may be swallowed up by life. Now he who is prepared for us this very thing is God, who has also given us the Spirit as a guarantee. So when you become a believer, God sends His Spirit into your heart, into your body. You know you're on your way to heaven. You know that when you step into eternity, man, you have the Holy Spirit as a guarantee. You're getting a new body, and you're going to live eternally. Verse 6, so we are always confident, knowing that while we are at home in the body, we are absent from the Lord. For we walk by faith and not by sight. Look at verse 8. We are confident, yes, well pleased. Rather, check this out, you can underline it, to be absent from the body and to be present with the Lord. I love that. You can know, if you're a Christian, the minute you take your last breath here on earth, boom, you're right into the presence of God. You have your new body. You are living for eternity. You're not going to die. You'll never die. You'll live eternally. You're just moving on up, like we joke around. Moving on up, right? This past week, the king of pop stepped into eternity. And, I grew up, with the, what's that? Beat. See, you're telling me, don't even do it. Beat it, and, the Thriller. I mean, hey, listen, God's given that man amazing gifts. I don't care who you are. You could be the biggest celebrity in the world. I mean, Holmes was the king he was running music for years. But he stepped into eternity. And he's going one of two places, depending on who he put his faith in. Whether or not he said Jesus is Lord and he received him. Now, I don't know. I pray that he did. Do you believe this? Jesus said, I am the resurrection and the life. If you believe in me, you won't die. You will live eternally. When you step from this life to the next, you're going to get a new body and live forever. If you believe that. God is salvation. Number 3, God is love. Now let's move on. Back into John chapter 11. Look at verse 28. God is omniscient. God is salvation. Number 3, God is love. He's full of compassion. And I love that about God when we're going through trials. When we can't figure out God, let's remember what we can figure out about God, that God is love. Verse 28, and when she said these things, she went her way and secretly called, talking about Martha, she secretly called Mary, her sister, saying, the teacher, Jesus, has come and he's calling for you. As soon as she heard that, she arose quickly and she came to him. Now Jesus had not yet come into the town. I mean, he's not even into Bethany yet. He's on the edge of town. But it was in the place where Martha met him, right there, verse 31. Then the Jews who were with Mary in the house and comforting her, when they saw that Mary rose up and quickly went out, they followed her, saying, they're thinking, well, she's going to the tomb to weep there. So we need to bring the entourage around her to be able to weep and wail with her, to comfort her. See, I love that. They wanted to be with her. They wanted to share in her pain and her grief, which is perfectly fine. I think sometimes as Christians, we think that we just something pain or tragedy happens and we just have to just snap our fingers. Well, God, He has reasons and it's okay. That's not biblical. It's okay to weep. It's okay to mourn. It's okay to have a time of grief. There's nothing wrong with that. Now, we don't weep as others weep. We don't, because we have hope in the resurrection, do we not? The Bible says it very clearly. We don't pain and have no hope like others that don't have hope. But we do. Don't ever remember. Now, verse 32, check it out. Then, when Mary came where Jesus was and she saw him, look at what she did. She fell down at his feet. Great place to be when you're going through trial, when you're going through pain. At his feet, saying to him, Lord, if, she says the same thing, if you had been here, my brother would not have died. Come on, Jesus, where were you? Verse 33, therefore, when Jesus saw her weeping, and the Jews who came with her weeping, he groaned in the spirit. Man, he groaned. You see that? The human side of him. God is love. He's compassionate. He was troubled. Verse 34, and he said, where have you laid him? They said to him, Lord, come and check it out. Jesus wept. Hey, if Jesus can weep over this type of stuff, you can weep. Jesus wept. Verse 36, the Jews said, see how he loved him. Some of them said, could not this man who opened the eyes of the blind, remember that he did that, also have kept this man from dying? Do you see the human perspective there? That's the human perspective. See, God had a whole different plan. God is love. Now, before we go further, let me just address this question. How can a God of love allow evil? Have you heard that question before? Okay, I'm just going to give you just the brief Cliff Notes version of it. Do your own research. But here's what I've come to find in the Bible. How can a God of love allow such evil and crazy stuff to go on? To answer that question, we got to go back to the Garden of Eden real quick. When God made you and I, He made us for a love relationship, did He not? For love, to have a meaningful love relationship, He had to give you free will. That's why in the garden, He set up everything in there. And there was fruit and trees and all kinds of stuff. And He said, but He had to make an opportunity for you to go against Him, did He? And He said, you can have everything you want, but just stay away from there right there. Then, what happened? Choice entered the world. So now we have the choice whether we're going to obey God and love Him or if we're going to go here. Now, you blame it on Adam, you blame it on Eve, blame it on yourself. Look in the mirror, blame it on you, because if you were Adam and Eve, you would have done the same thing. It's part of our nature. Okay, we can have everything, but not that? Okay. See, look at sin entered the world. When sin entered the world, decay. On and on and on. You see, a God, He is perfect love, but He had to allow free will choice. That's why you see evil in the world, because sin entered the world and people chose to disobey God. That's the short version of it. We could talk about it for a long time, but we have a Bible study, so let's continue on. Now, look at verse 33 again. When Jesus saw her weeping, He groaned in the spirit. He was troubled. You know, I really believe He's groaning at this result of sin. At the result of us disobeying God. At the effects of sin. As you get closer to God and you start understanding Him, what He does is He starts giving you more and more of His heart, and you'll start experiencing the same thing. You'll groan in your spirit when you see something going on. When you see a marriage break up and kids just wrecked as a result, you will groan in your spirit. When you see tragedy, when you see a coach have his head blown off, you'll groan in your spirit at the effects of sin.